What happened in the Madrid game today, right, should not be happening in football. But again, we do not know for a fact what was said, right? We know something was said that aggravated Vinicius Jr. or got him to run to the referee. You know that, I know that. If you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. But Prestianni, what he did, right? And we do not know exactly what he said because Mbappe asked him and he was asked, what did he say? He did not, he said he didn't say anything or he didn't say anything of such, anything of which Vinicius Jr. said that he said. Listen, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Nate. Let's talk football. Now, I don't know if this one is about football, but before we get into all of that, again, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's get into everything that happened. Benfica versus Real Madrid. They played today. What's it called? The knockout stage was held today, right? First round, because then they have to go to the Bernabeu, right? PSG also played. Now, lucky for them, they also managed to win their game, and Dure coming in, doing what he did, hopefully Dembele is okay. Listen, if Dembele keep getting injured, they have to fix him. But we're not talking about PSG game right now, right? We'll talk about that another day, maybe do some analysis and all of that. But the Madrid game today, the Benfica game today, listen, a whole bunch of commotion happened. We saw Jose Mourinho losing his thing, right? Losing it. He got a record. But prior to that, the entire game was going okay, right? Especially in the first half. Benfica had Madrid at times in terms of possession. They looked like they were home. The crowd was behind them. Everything was going in according to plan. Now we're talking about the football aspect, right? Everything was going in according to plan because the way they were playing. But they did not look threatening in any single sense, right? They have the ball, right? They have control of the ball. But when they get into the opposite, when they get into Madrid half, they did not do anything with the ball in terms of maybe scoring goals or shot on goal or anything. None of that was happening, right? They didn't. Now, a couple of times, I think they test Courtois a little bit, and he made a brilliant save, right? Keeping Madrid in the game. But all in all, I think Madrid, they had them under control, or they were playing right into Madrid, and then. But when Madrid had the ball, they looked that they were going to score as well. Now, even though Mbappe missed a couple of chances in the first half, right? So that first half ended 0-0, the way Benfica wanted it. And then the second half came, Vinicius Jr. scored when he had to celebrate, and his celebration aggravated the home fan. And obviously, they started saying, obviously, they were not happy with it. And while he was going by, Prestianni, right, the adjutant, at the time I didn't even know he was an adjutant, right? I was doing my live stream about the game. So he and Vinicius Jr. got into a heated argument, right? And I think Vinicius got a yellow card out of that. And then Prestianni covered his mouth, right? In the argument, obviously said something to Vinicius Jr. And then Vinicius Jr. ran over to the referee to report what he said. But again, the referee was not there to be able to hear what he said. So it's basically Vinicius Jr. word against Prestianni. Right? The referee was not there. So that caused a whole thing. Vinicius Jr. went to sit on the bench. The game wasn't going on. Mbappe was not happy, right? The referee didn't necessarily punish Prestianni because he did not hear what Prestianni said. Now, VAR, on the other hand, went to the audio to see if maybe they pick up something, right? From maybe the audio pick up something from there that they could be able to go use with that to be able to use that to be able to make decision. Right? But none of that was feasible. So listen, and the rule says since the referee could not, there's no concrete evidence as about what's being said, the game has to continue. Prestianni wasn't punished. Vinicius Jr. wanted some sort of a punishment from him, right? So even after the game, the argument still continues, right? With the Real Madrid and the Benfica, right, people, right, or the staffs, you would say. Again, now let's look at this. Prestianni, right, what he said to Vinicius Jr. First of all, the goal that Vinicius Jr. scored today, right, brilliant goal. Now I know I mentioned that he scored passively, but the goal that he scored today, world class, and that was the only goal in the game as well. And today he was absolutely astonishing for Madrid. He was up there, right? Definitely one of the, you can name few other Madrid players that actually did perform today. I think Carreras had a good game. Rudiger had a good game. Definitely Vinicius Jr. had a great game. Camavinga even, I think, had a great game as well. But Trent, you can also put Trent on the list, right? Yeah. that had a good game. Now, defensively, we all know Trent is a lot better, but when it comes to like making run forward, especially in the first half, those chances that Mbappe was missing, he was the one creating them, even one for Vinicius Jr. as well. But we come back to Prestianni. Now, why the referee didn't take any decision, and I understand how Vinicius, the way Vinicius Jr. feel, right, and all of that, right. First thing first is one person word against the another person word, right? And the referee does not really have concrete evidence. It's not like anybody can support Vinicius Jr. that they heard him, right? Only Vinicius Jr. heard him, and only Prestianni as well know what exactly he said, right? And I think one of the things is that even after the incident happened, you saw the abuse that he was also going through from the home fan. People were throwing stuff at him, balls are being thrown at him, they were booing him. Nah, that's normal, right? As a Chelsea fan, I watch Cucurella get booed every single day, right? Every single day, every single game we play. As long as Cucurella is on the pitch, there's a high possibility he can get booed because he's going to do something. And part of the reason is that like these people, they provoke, right? The Cucurella, the Vinicius Jr., they provoke. There's sometimes the way maybe, they didn't get fouled, they foul, so they dive and all of this little stuff. Cucurella, being on their attacker, not allowing him to breathe, and you touch Cucurella, you see Cucurella on the floor as though, maybe he's about to die or something like that. So all of that will aggravate anything, right? So it's more like they are good at provoking. So you understand why most of the time people don't like them, but listen, if you don't like him, there is no reason why you should be able to say some of the things that you said, right? Now, we do not know for a fact, we do not know evidently that Prestianni, the adjutant, the matter of fact, the moment, that thing happened during the game, right? And I was able to, the commentator started to go that, a racist comment was made, right? And they show his face. I said he's an adjutant. And let's say I don't follow the Portuguese league like that, right? The last time we played Benfica, I don't even remember his name being mentioned, right? Chelsea played Benfica, I don't remember his name being mentioned. But the moment they said that, I said it would be so weird that this guy is a adjutant, and I went to look it up. He is an adjutant. Now, this is not to put that it's not like a blanket statement over every single adjutant. Now, I met a couple of them that are nice, that are good people, right? But you get the gist. You know what I mean, yeah? The adjutants, yeah? The adjutants, especially after what happened on the bus when they won their little trophy, whatever, and then what they were singing about the entire French squad. Now, and there's rumor that the adjutant is one of the most racist people, right? Again, it's not like a blanket statement. This have to do with Prestianni. I'm just saying that even when it happened, I just made a random guess that he might be an adjutant, and it turns out he is. But again, we do not know for a fact that what Vinicius Jr. said is what actually he said. So now the only person that can actually confirm that is him, right? But again, the fact that Vinicius Jr. ran to the referee, the way he ran to the referee, right? Say something, right? And then Prestianni himself covered his mouth as well. So that kind of blocks out, the possibility of somebody reading his lip. So now, in other words, that kind of, we cannot prove that he did say it, but equally so we cannot say he didn't. Because if he didn't, then maybe there could be a possibility where somebody could read his lip, or lip reader could come out and say try to, but he covered his mouth, so that still puts him in that bracket that he possibly might have said something at least to aggravate Vinicius Jr. or get Vinicius Jr. to be able to run to the ref. Now, my thing is this, right? Like I said, only he can come out and be able to say exactly what he said. Meaning there must be something that was said. Now, what was said, I do not know. Now, they say he called Vinicius, people say he called Vinicius Jr. a monkey. Now, that was what Vinicius Jr. told the referee, right? Only him, again, know exactly what he said. But my thing is this. There was something definitely that was said to Vinicius Jr. that got him to run to the referee, right? Now, if it wasn't what Vinicius Jr. thought it was, let him come out and say what exactly he said to Vinicius Jr. Maybe Vinicius Jr. misheard him. That's why he went to the referee. If not, right, I think we all going to take Vinicius Jr. word for it. Now, there's not because I'm black or, none of that, right? Because you have to come up with, you must have said something that got him running to the referee, right? Now, we all know he's an instigator. We know that, right? It's part of the whole Brazilian flair, the South American. That's how they play football. They get under your skin. They get in your, under your skin, as the quote unquote expression. But if what Vinicius Jr. reported is not what he said, let him come out and say what he said. Call it a day, right? Did he prove his own innocence? Oh, I didn't call him a monkey, right? I said this, but he might have misunderstood my word or didn't hear me, or didn't hear exactly what I said. Then we know where we're going with it. But as for now, listen, we are more, in tune to be able to look into what Vinicius Jr. said, and again. He's Brazilian too, right? Again, it's one of those things that you want to look into it, and you feel bad for Vinicius Jr. that he's getting abused day in day out, right? He's possibly one of the most abused player out there. I think he's definitely up there in the entire of European football. He's definitely up there. He's one of them. But it's one of those things that it's hard for and I don't want it to be the case wherein because he's an instigator and he gets people angry almost every single game that they wouldn't want to look into it, right? No. If something was said, please, FIFA, do your due diligence and look into it, right? Ask the man what was said, what did he say, what he didn't say, everything we need to know, now we can know. Again, if he think he didn't say what Vinicius Jr. said he said, let him come out and say the exact word that he said to Vinicius Jr. that got him running. Now, again, this will be very important because if you cannot tell Vinicius Jr., brother, you good looking, and then he's running to the referee. No, meaning there was something definitely that was said. So something that was said, you might insult him because the both of them are going back and forth with it. Words exchange, right? Obviously, you hear Vinicius Jr., the usual, Kalali, Boha, if you're from Portugal, or Brazil, you speak Portuguese, you know what I'm saying, right? You definitely know what I'm saying. Kalali, Boha. What was said, Prestianni, what did he say? Let him come out and say what he said. That's my only thing, right? And then FIFA can be able to judge the matter perfectly, or, as they should. Right, but for now it's more like he say, she say. So it's one word against the other person word. And again, they should look into it, right? Because if he did say something, they should handle this properly, the way it should be handled, right? They should again and people call for that he should have been taken off the pitch, right? Again, it was Jose's decision. Why would you take the man on his play? He was one of the players that was performing for Benfica, so I don't see what reason Jose will want to take him off the pitch. But again, they should also put an end to this thing in football, wherein people start to throw stuff on the pitch. They should put an end to it. I get it. Not everybody's going to be happy with certain players. Not everybody's going to be okay with certain players. But these are the things you should put stop to. I don't care what's happening. You cannot physically be abusing people the same way nobody is allowed to put their hands on on another person. They should also put an end to that. Stop allowing people to throw stuff, water bottle, bananas, whatever object that's in their hand or they have at their disposal at the moment. They shouldn't be throwing that at people, at the players. No, it shouldn't be happening. Whoever that is caught in said action should be punished, right? Maybe banned from the stadium for a certain amount of time. Whatever punishment FIFA would deem necessary should happen. At least let there be repercussion for those actions. That's all I have to say. But again, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Thank you for everything. Watching this video to the end. Hit the like, again, hit the subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. See you in the next video. There's more definitely coming your way. Adios, mi amigos.